Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is December the 15th, 2019. Strong hand, long term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Unconfiscatable. All right, you guys, I know you're a unique beast. Be a unique beast. Hello, my elite friends. Remember, check out disruptmeister.com, all my old shows. Follow me on Twitter at techbalt, TECHBALT. And of course, Fridays This Week in Bitcoin was great with JW Weatherman. We're going to talk about people scared of hardware wallets here in a second, okay? And also Trace Mayer was Thursday's show. Check that out. It's all linked to below. Saturday's Beyond Bitcoin show was a lot of fun also. But again, people freak out when JW and Trace talk about hardware wallets. Yeah, you really shouldn't though. I guess some people, they think they're getting word from a position of authority. No, just we'll get into it in a second though. We'll get into you don't have to freak out. It's not like someone can remotely get into your Trezor. Okie dokie. But I think that's what a lot of people think when they hear like one little bad thing about a hardware wallet. They think that, they as an individual, that someone over in China is going to find out who they are and remotely hack into their Trezor. No, that's not happening. Unless you do something really silly like download something you shouldn't have. Okay, my elite friends. So let's move on here into the subject matters of the day, which I cannot find on my list here. It's all about the weed out year. Yeah, this is the second weed out year in a row. By the way, if you got questions, I got answers. Type them in the chat. Type in Bitcoin Meister or do a super chat and play this at 2x. If you're not watching this live right now. Okay, the first is a quote from, is this from Bruce Fenton? Yes, Bruce Fenton. Calling everything other than Bitcoin a S-coin, he uses the curse word, I don't use that, is a caveman level analysis that reduces complex economics to a low IQ meme. I agree that calling everything that's not Bitcoin and S-coin, it's lowly. It's you're not showing that you're thinking very much there. Securities and other digital assets will have value based on their terms and properties. Period. You can't change these basic economic principles. Okay, yeah, people will value other coins and other crypto creations. There will be value. Will it be temporary value? Will it be long-term value? Who knows? But there will be value. There will be experimentations, and they're not all S coins, okay? They're people working hard on projects, doing innovations, okay? Now, the important part of all this that he says is, and I think this is what you all should remember, and this is what I retweeted. And by the way, this is all linked to below. This statement isn't at odds with believing Bitcoin is the best coin, chain, or money. It's not at odds with believing Bitcoin will be the global money standard. In fact, if Bitcoin succeeds in this, it is more likely that securities and other assets will be tokenized. So he's very right on this. The bigger Bitcoin comes, the stronger it becomes, the more popular, the more people trying to copy it and try to make everything Bitcoin, try to make everything blockchain, everyone's trying to grab a little piece of the pie and trying to get wealthy off of it when they should just be trying to get the real thing and actually buy it. But, people don't understand that, sometimes the easiest route to success is like directly there. They try to take these long and winding roads, but hey, they'll find out in the long run. And I got to say, so yeah, there you go. You don't have to call everything an S-coin to believe to prove that Bitcoin is the best, to show the world that Bitcoin is the best. You can say, hey, these other coins are out there and I can still believe Bitcoin is the best. I don't have to use curse words to describe every altcoin out there. All right, pound that like button. Let me see if there's anybody in the super chat. There's people over there. Oh, wow. There's someone that said something pretty funny over there. Oh, there's a few people saying something. My God, it's really late at night, so all the wackos in California are out in the are out in the chat tonight. Or maybe some of these wackos seem like they might have been in Jersey City lately, actually, from what they're saying. So moving on, and so we won't repeat what they're saying. And watch Saturday's show if you want to hear about that situation. And here's from Eric Voorhees. And again, I don't agree with Eric Voorhees all the time. I've disagreed with him vehemently before on the 2x situation. You may remember that. He says, in 2017, the mistaken narrative was all these coins are worth billions. In 2019, the mistaken narrative is all of these coins are worthless. The truth, some coins are vastly valuable. And I'm saying Bitcoin is the most valuable. Most are not, though. Like startups, the market discovers success with time and iteration. So yeah, we definitely have gone from one extreme to another. 2017, you couldn't go wrong with anything. 2019, everyone's saying you're going wrong with everything, including Bitcoin. People are frustrated with a $7,000 Bitcoin. Give it time, people. You will see that Bitcoin is worth quite a bit, and some of these other coins will have some value, but not many of them. Not many of them will have long-term value at all. So I don't really worry about that. I just focus on the real thing. Why gamble when you can get the real thing, that mountain that we know as Bitcoin? Pound that like button. All right. So yes, clearly this is the second weed out year in a row, and people threw up their hands in frustration in 2018. And then and that was a worse year than in terms of go. I mean, we're in an upward trend this year. We started at $3,000. What are we at now for you fiat freaks? $7,000. But still, people were weeded out this year. But here's a tweet, a very positive tweet, and I retweeted it. It's from a guy named Guapo Jot. He says, everyone complaining about 2019 and how it wrecked them. This, I can't use the word S, was the best year of my life. It's just going to get better too. I'm never slowing down. There you go, dude. That's the attitude to have. Every year is the best year of your life. Every year. I mean, you've made it another year. That's great. It's that's an awesome feeling. And I think that's a positive attitude to have. That, hey, you know what? People complaining about getting wrecked. I didn't get wrecked this year. I did fine. But I mean, I have more Bitcoin than I started with. I mean, that's how you value your wealth. You value your wealth in Bitcoin. So all these people complaining about being wrecked, and there are a lot of them, my Lord, they got weeded out. And well, this is the best year of my life. Pound that. And next year will be the best year of my life. And the year after that will be the best year of my life. Think of it that way. All right. It's just every year is a new freaking experience. You can gain knowledge and experience, and just don't get into those bad situations, though. Learn to avoid ruination. Okay. Learn to avoid ruination. So some people got ruined, whatever. They got wrecked. You didn't. So you're happy. I'm never slowing down. I like that guy's attitude. I'm never slowing down either. And for the people who got wrecked, by the way, that doesn't mean you give up your Bitcoin, okay? that means that don't get just because you. And I think this is the point I forgot to make here. If you got wrecked, don't drop out. Don't get flushed, okay? You lost some stuff. Stick around Bitcoin. These are the weed out years. You want to stick around so you don't have to rejoin when everybody's rejoining for a lot of money in 2020 and 2021. We've seen this cycle before. So yeah, you might have got wrecked, but don't get weeded out of the system. Don't get weeded out where you give up on Bitcoin. Okay, so if you leave a comment on Twitter, or especially if you leave a comment in the comment section of the videos, sometimes I'll answer them. So here, I'm going to answer them. And people who reply to me on Twitter, I don't do replies on Twitter. Like if you reply in a tweet, then I'm not going to reply to you. I'll send you a DM sometimes, or maybe I'll do it here on the show, but I don't get into arguments on the freaking Twitter. I don't waste my time with that. I use Twitter as a knowledge resource. Okay. I read, I tweet, I share, but I don't get into little tit for tat arguments going back and forth, which I think a lot of people try to get people with more followers than them into and stuff. And they get a little surge out of it. Oh, that name, I got him to reply to me. Ha ha. Oh, I won. Yeah, whatever. You're using Twitter in a foolish way to get in arguments. No, you should be learning from Twitter, using it read it as a blog like I do. I read it for like an hour every day, basically, when I'm prepping for this freaking show. Yeah, that's some conviction there. It's something like an hour. Who knows what it takes me? Sometimes it feels like that, at least. But I'm learning, which is great. And I'm sharing. Okay. I'm giving you the best show in the freaking space. They're the most unique one, definitely. Best guest in the space, dude. You got to check out Friday's show. Jeet is so underrated, dude. That dude should be on everybody's freaking show. Pound it. So here, this guy left a comment. What's it say? Wait, let me read it. Yeah, Rob C, his name is. Bitcoin people are the new silver and gold bugs. What do you think? You're collecting these inflated assets will make you king of the post-apocalypse wasteland. It's stupid and childish. Well, yeah, actually, I think it is childish to buy something because you think you're going to become king of the post-apocalyptic wasteland, because there's not going to be a post-apocalyptic wasteland. We're entering a golden age. You buy, and Bitcoin is not an inflated asset. And I don't think gold was an inflated asset. Gold is not an inflated asset either. So no, Bitcoin people are not silver and Bitcoin and gold bugs, or the type of silver and gold bugs that were waiting for the apocalypse. No, that's not what Bitcoin people are. Bitcoin people are looking forward to a very bright future. Bitcoin people know we are on the verge. We're going to enter this freaking golden age of the 2020s in a couple days, okay, in a few days. So no, not the same at all. And it's not an inflated asset. It's a very undervalued asset, and it's a scarce asset that's becoming. They're making less and less of it every 4 years. Okay, so learn about that halving. We're getting closer to it in May. Looks like I'm going to be in Tel Aviv for that. By the way, more on some traveling in a second. I've got a destination for some of you Europeans. But so wait, I wanted to say one other thing about this. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. And yeah, the dollar, but and another thing about the a lot of the gold bugs and some Bitcoiners, they think the dollar system is going to fail and everything's going to go to heck. No, the dollar system is going to stick around, and Bitcoin can exist with great success when most people are still using the dollar. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm anticipating a great golden age. The world isn't ending. The world is getting freaking better for those who understand it and don't dig themselves little doom holes to live in. And Rocky Palumbo is in the house. Well, good to see him. I'm offended by people who call people in California wackos. Well, Rocky Palumbo is in California, and he is not a wacko. But there were some weird comments there. So you have to assume some of them are coming from California at this hour. I mean, well, there's some wackos out there. I mean, maybe I'm stereotyping California a little bit. Maybe they're coming from Hawaii and Alaska. I don't know. They're clearly English speakers. They're clearly Americans. Or maybe they're just on drugs and up late on the East Coast. I don't know. I don't even want to. I've already given them way too much attention, haven't I? So JW freaked many people out. I just want to say, I mean, if this reassures you, I think they see someone on YouTube that they know, and they hear them say something scary, and they panic. They blow it out of proportion. Don't blow it out of proportion. I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing my security regimen at all. I'm not running a full node. I mean, how can I don't even live anywhere? I've never attempted to do so. Okay. I don't have Glacier protocol. I linked to a video below where I basically said the same thing in February, where I commented on a video of Andreas Antonopoulos, also from February, where he addresses Trace Mayer talking about the Glacier protocol. And Andreas, like me, says you don't have to go that far. If you start doing things that are intensely complex, you're going to mess up and you're going to lose your Bitcoin. The Trezor, the Ledger, the hardware wallets, if they're in your physical possession, okay, you're good to go. All right. Now, some of them, obviously, there have been some interesting things that people can do if they know technical skills and they know how to electrify things and take it apart, and you don't have a passphrase on it. All these ifs. Put a passphrase on it, lock it up. Don't give it to some 150 IQ computer geek hacker who has electronic equipment with him, who happens to know how to do this. Dudes, most of you out there that are watching this, no one knows who you are. You are regular people. You should be very happy. You're a regular dude. No one's going to try to rob your house and find your Trezor and do all that stuff to it. They don't know you have it, okay? And as for all the FUD that's been said on my show about hardware wallets, no one has said that they could be remotely hacked, okay? Now, that when you plug it into your computer, that somehow someone somewhere is going to know that it's plugged into your computer and they'll be able to get into it, okay? That isn't something that's out there, okay? If that was the case, okay, let me tell you something. If that really happened, where someone plugged in a hardware wallet into their computer and randomly it got hacked, that company that made the hardware wallet would go out of business. That would be it. It would be over. That's it. You can't have that happen. One mistake ruins these companies. Think about that for a second when you hear JW and Trace talking this extreme stuff. Also remember that Trace might have $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So he's a lawyer and he's very smart. So he's going to take different precautions than you, and people know who he is. Okay. And again, you got to be, if you're worried about just owning a Trezor or owning a ledger that some dude in China is going to hack you or whatever, you're taking your eye off the ball, because you're one of those dudes that when you're worried about something like that, you get a bunch of spam emails from fake exchanges, from fake Trezor, and you click on them for the latest update, the latest firmware update. That's how you F yourself over, okay? That's how you mess yourself up. Is when you go, if you're going to get firmware, okay, for your device, you go directly to the site and you download it. I'm sure there are people out there that have downloaded firmware or think they downloaded firmware, and all they've done is set up a fake Trezor address where they type in their recovery seed or something like that, and they lose everything. All right. So don't click. You got to go back to this. If you're worried about this complex stuff that Trace is talking about, that JW's, you're forgetting the simple stuff, which is don't click on emails. Don't click on URLs and emails, because that's what's going to enable people to steal from your Trezor. You're going to be giving away the information, though. Okay. It's a different type of thing. I think when people start to hear Trace and JW talk, and they make up scenarios in their head that just aren't happening. Like China isn't hacking your computer and getting into your Trezor. That's not happening. But you can download stuff that's going to enable people to steal your, for you to give it away. They're not really even stealing. They're stealing from you because you are typing in information that you never would have typed into before. Okay, you're typing into something that is totally insecure. Never type in your recovery seed on your keyboard. Never do that. With the Trezor, you type it into the Trezor. That's all you do. All right. So that's my take on, and I appreciate Trace and JW's opinions. I love when they're on my show. It's always a lot of fun. I think a lot of people have a lot of fun, but every time it's the same thing afterwards. And there are people freaking out unnecessarily. Watch my video from February. Link to below that is the video from Andreas if you need a source of authority to make you feel better about all this. But a lot of people make up stories in their heads out of fear when they hear JW and Trace talk, because they don't fully understand what JW and Trace are even saying. And that's just the way it is. So don't get freaked out, people. I don't run a full node. I've never attempted to do so, and I'm very satisfied with my numerous hardware wallets. All right. Is there any doubt in your mind BTC may crash back down to $4,000? So you're saying, and I don't think it's going to do that, but if it does that, who gives a darn? Because there's no doubt in my mind that we're one day closer to an all-time high. So there's no doubt in my mind that we're one day closer to an all-time high. Interesting question. So I'm going to be in Geneva, Switzerland, April 21st to the 30th. How about that? How about that? That's Mel Allen there. No, yeah, I know that. So I don't know where I'm going to be on January the 15th, but I know where April 21st to 30th, I will be in Geneva, Switzerland. That will be right after Passover when I'm in Baltimore. And April 30th, I'm flying to Tel Aviv. So, I mean, I'm going to be in Tel Aviv starting April 30th. I just haven't, I don't know how long I'm going to be in Tel Aviv. So there you go. You people in Switzerland, in Geneva, I'm going to be there. And it'll be very interesting. I've never been to Switzerland before. I want to see this land of neutrality, supposedly. And yeah, I'll be in a French-speaking city. I don't think I could go to a German-speaking city. Anyway, so Geneva, here I come, April 21st to 30th. It's booked. I got the flight from Dulles. I'll be flying out of Dulles in Washington D.C. Yeah. Okay, what else do we have here? So this dude had a tweet. He was replying to my Mike Hearn. I tweeted out something from 2016, that video clip of me talking about Mike Hearn, that it was just a blip on the radar, which I was correct about. That the Mike Hearn FUD, when it went from 400 back into the 300s, was just a blip in the radar that we would all laugh about one day, which we do now. But someone replied underneath, and what do you make of today's situation, Adam? Will it be more of the same in that we will look at these levels as a blip on the radar in a year or so also? So before I answer that question, if one day we're going to look back on this as a blip in the radar, okay? As, dropping, as being $7,000. Because people think it's so horrible that the year started out at $3,000. And now that we're at $7,000, they think it's horrible because we were at 13,000 for a second or something like that. So, I mean, this is something that people are worried about right now. A lot of people are very down because it was 3,000 at the beginning of the year, and now it's 7,000, but it was 13,000 for just this insanity around the fiat freak insanity. It's fiat freak insanity. It's total fiat. And this is how you lose your Bitcoin. This is how you panic. It's another brick it's another brick in the weak hand wall. So what do you think my answer is? Is this just another blip on the, I mean, I assume this guy doesn't watch my show. All you guys who watch this show, who are watching right now, is it just another blip on the radar? Or am I really scared? Is it different this time? Is it different? Is it just the end of the world? Knowing Adam Meister, what do you think I'm going to answer there? So I assume that guy doesn't know who I am. Of course, it's a freaking blip on the radar. And there's just people out there that need that reassurance. They need someone like me to tell them not to worry. When they shouldn't worry. When they should just look at history. We've been through this so many times. We've been through much worse. It was $400, $300, $3,000. We've been through so much drop, so much, and we get through it. We move on. It's just another brick in that weak hand wall. It's a huge wall. The weak handers, there are many bricks that come up, and they keep building it. They keep finding excuses, walling them off from holding their Bitcoin, walling them off from ever buying Bitcoin. So many excuses out there. And when we look back at them, they're all blips on the freaking radar. I mean, God almighty. People are watching this in the future right now and just laughing at $7,000. Just laughing at it. But hey, what can I say? I mean, there's some people, they want to look on the doom side of things. They don't understand. They don't remember. They weren't around for every time we've reached an all-time high that we've returned to it. You just got to be patient. And you just got to know about this halving cycle. And you just got to be familiar with this 210,000 block theory. Let's see it. You got to live it. You got to love it. Or you can panic and you can hide behind the weekend wall, which gets strong, builds up. There's so many people that add bricks to that darn wall. There's so many people. I don't. I show people, I'm just like, dude, you just walk around it. It's that simple. Anyway, okay. Pound that like button. Let me see. So that's what I make of today's situation. It's what I make of everyday situation. It's just one day. Think long term. Don't be impulsive. Oh, God. So Bill Pulte, the philanthropist who's been giving away money on Twitter, say what you will about him. Oh, he's buying Twitter followers. Great. But he's using Bitcoin. He's using Bitcoin a lot. He's promoting Bitcoin. And a lot of these people that are following him, they'll never buy Bitcoin. They just want free stuff. But he's to fund his operation, he needs to buy more and more Bitcoin. If he keeps giving it away. Here's a tweet from him. I recently bought 11 Bitcoin. Good for you. Good for you. That's as a multimillionaire or whatever you are. I don't care how he inherited his money. Who cares? He's buying Bitcoin. He's spreading the word. Good job, Bill Pulte. I don't know your whole darn story. I don't give a darn about your whole darn story. I'm glad you're buying 11 Bitcoin, and you're not adding to the weak hand wall. You're creating strong hands. Now, of course, your hand's not that strong because you're just giving it away. But you're rich as heck anyway. I'm sure you've got a huge stash of Bitcoin that you're not giving away. So I shouldn't say you've got a strong hand with your stash. You're doing something amazing. Philanthropists are going to do what they're going to do. They're a different breed. Good for you, dude. And I'm not saying everybody be Bill Pulte. Definitely not everybody be Bill. You can't. But he's doing something in the long run. This is going to be very good. He's introducing a lot of people to Bitcoin, but he's just gaining all of these followers on Twitter when he gives away money. Okay, we've got what's this guy? Fitzer Inc. 1 says, thanks for answering, Bitcoin Meister. Love this channel, by the way. Well, dude, thank you. Thank you, man. So, and you're commenting a lot there, I see, too. There's all sorts of Californians out there, I think I see. What else? And so, yeah, by the way, I am in Tucson, Arizona, if you didn't know that now, people. And so it's even late here. It's 1:05. But hey, I'm keep on going. We're almost there. Play this at 2x. Okay, for you Lightning Network freaks, there's something called the Phoenix wallet out there, and I link to it below. The Bitcoin wallet from the future, native Lightning support, non-custodial, intuitive and simple user experience. Oh, it sounds good. What is Phoenix? It is a Bitcoin wallet. It allows you to send and receive Bitcoins. What's different about Phoenix? At first glance, Phoenix doesn't look different from your typical Bitcoin wallet. The difference is that Phoenix runs natively on Lightning. Phoenix takes care of everything under the hood, and you will barely notice anything except your payments are faster and cheaper. Okay, there you go, Lightning Network freaks. People are innovating over there. That is awesome. I am going to leave you guys with a quote. Where is my, excuse me. It's a quote from Dan Moorhead from his December 19 Pantera Bitcoin letter. Before I say that, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show. Thank you, JC in South Africa, for the support, man. He's been supporting the show in great ways. Okay, so here's a great quote from Dan Moorhead in his December 2019 Pantera blockchain letter. Bitcoin and blockchain are like an early stage venture, but with a real-time price feed. If you stare at it too closely, it's hard to hold it. But if you view it like venture, a 5 to 10 year investment that you put in the back of your portfolio, it's a much better way to think of investing in this space. So there you go. Usually when someone makes an early stage venture investment, they can't check the value of it every single second. So, they forget about it. They know that, hey, this is a long-term investment. In 10 years, this could be the biggest freaking company on earth. Okay. But with Bitcoin is like that, but you are constantly told how much it's worth. So you can constantly panic and you can constantly think of it. So treat it like you've invested in Google, okay? But ignore the fact that you know the value of it every freaking second, okay? In the early stage, you know the freaking value of it every second. That's, hey, I like that aspect of it, okay? I don't get scared by that. But I mean, imagine some of these venture capitalists that invest in all these little startups over there. If they always knew the exact minute-to-minute value of this new thing they invested in, and maybe some of them would become more weak-handed and just like throw their hands in the air. It's sometimes good to not know the exact value every second. So you're going to know the value. If you want to, you can know the value of Bitcoin every second, but treat it like this dude said to treat it. Put it in the back of your portfolio and don't think about it. Long-term thinking, guys. Do not be impulsive with this. This is the newfangled savings account. This is not something just to flip. This is your future and your kids' future if you got kids. All right. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Run BTC. Remember, you can get shirts like this linked below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, pound that like button, and bang the bell button. A new show here every day. I will say hi to you guys in the chat. Click on that square you see if you're watching this tape. See ya.